Please welcome the President of the Board of the Northwest Chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, John Sharifi.
Good evening. It is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you to the 44th Annual Northwest Regional Emmy Awards. Tonight is the night we've all been waiting for. Tonight is the night the Northwest Chapter of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences recognizes excellence in television with the Emmy Award. But it is every night and every day that the people in this room strive for excellence and show what we're made of. We're a tough, passionate, and dedicated bunch. Whether you're on the assignment desk, a producer, reporter, photographer, or editor, you go into each story wanting to tell it better than you've told any other. Whether it's the news of the day, a follow-up feature, an investigation, you want it to be memorable, to make an impact on your viewers, to win their hearts and minds. Sometimes it's not easy to do what we do. We come across some pretty horrific situations. Families and homes devastated by the forces of nature, children abused at the hands of relatives, senseless killings of innocent bystanders. It's enough to dampen anyone's passion for this business that we love. And then there are the extraordinary moments. An ailing student athlete cheered wildly by her peers, a soldier returning home to meet his infant for the first time, strangers giving money to make it easier for someone else to live. Those are the stories we live for, the ones that inspire us to do better. We want to tell the stories that make our viewers feel good and likewise make us feel good about what we do. So tonight you'll see many stories that will surely inspire you and make you feel proud of your work, your colleagues, your station in our industry. I am in awe of the talent, the level of talent we have in our region as represented around the room. You are among the best in the business, and tonight we are thrilled to recognize the work you've produced. I'm also proud of the people I work with on the NATAS Northwest Board. I can't thank them enough for all the time and energy they put in this last year. The Emmy Awards tonight and the celebration to the nomination party we threw in April, that's not all we do. Our chapter makes possible scholarships for college students who one day might just be sitting in your seats as Emmy Award nominated journalists. Over the years, NATAS Northwest has awarded 67 scholarships. Tonight, numbers 68 and 69. This year, we started raising money for a statue in Fremont recognizing a symbol of excellence in Northwest television, the Emmy Award-winning J.P. Patches show. There's information. Yes. In fact, there's information about J.P. Patches and the fundraiser in your program and how you might be able to help with this project. We have an ongoing mentoring program that's designed to help journalists starting out to get to the next level, this level. We hope more of you get more involved with that. We and you judge and nominate work from other regions. This year, our entries were judged by the Upper Midwest Chapter, and later this summer, we'll be calling on you to help judge those entries. Right now, I'd like to take just a moment and for you to meet the people who make all of this happen. So will the NATAS board please stand? All right. Yes, well-deserved applause. Our national trustees are Jamie Jensen, and continue standing. Our national trustees are Jamie Jensen and Scott LaPlante. Our vice president is Dan Ibebaum. Our treasurer, Willie McLaren, secretary, Jennifer Bennett. On the board of governors, I'll go through this quickly. Walter Farley, Michael Fox, Michael Harris, Phil Kane, Tracy Record, Dick Splitstone, Brooke Stanford, Elisa Teal, Anita Wu, Pamela Woon, Lisa Yackel. Committee chairs include Maria Lamarca Anderson, Ed Carlos, Catherine Carbone, Gary Gibson, Brian Johnston, Joanne Lasowski, Tara Miller, Darren Robb, Christina Moy, Peter O'Connell, Eric Riddle, Howard Scott, Cleve Tyson, and our new committee members, Ross Davis and Steve Allwine. We also have regional chairs, Lee Bullington, Joan Carton-Hansen, Walt Baker, Denise Dowling, Alan Beck, Jamie Kern, and Jerry Post. last but not least, the one who makes sure every I is dotted and T crossed, Diane Bevins, our NATAS Northwest administrator. She's had a lot of sleepless nights leading up to this evening. Again, thank you to all of you. It has been a privilege to work with you this past year as the president of the board. And now, to honor the great work of 2006, I'd like to wish all the nominees good luck tonight. We have a spectacular show produced by Seattle Channel's Nancy Guppy. Thank you for joining us, and enjoy the show.
All right, so everybody's in favor of spending $200,000 to pressure wash the entire NATAS building. Say aye.
Aye.
Done.
Good work, Walter. Okay, team, listen up. I've been doing some thinking, and I'm thinking that Joel McHale is just not right to host the Emmys this year.
What? But the event is like 2 days away.
He's old news. We need someone vibrant, major, local celebrity.
Okay, but Joel is local. I mean, he's a Husky for crying out loud. Plus, he has his own national show.
On the E network. E.
Okay, but he was in Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, but he didn't make it into the video game.
And isn't he balding?
Well, I mean, Scott, come on, I'm kind of balding.
Yeah, but you're nobody. It doesn't matter if you go bald.
Bottom line, he's not a good fit. We need to go in another direction.
Oh, come on.
Look, I'm the president of NATAS. I'm the decider. I decide who hosts the Emmys this year.
E.
All right, who else can we get? Brainstorm, people. Vibrant, major, local celebrity, hip, funny. Who?
How about Cashman?
You think we can get him?
Well,
Nancy, why don't you give him a call?
But I just don't think it. Yes, okay, I know you're the decider.
Ma, pick up the phone!
Thank you. Hello, this is Pat.
Hey, Pat, it's Nancy.
You mean Nancy Guppy, the producer of the Northwest Regional Emmy Awards this year? That Nancy Guppy?
Right, uh-huh.
You're looking for an MC, aren't you, Nancy?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, I thought so. Although, frankly, you've kind of caught me a little off guard. I wasn't really expecting this call. However, as busy as I am, I might be able to move my schedule around a little bit. And
Is Chris there, by chance?
Who?
Chris Cashman, your son?
Yeah. Yeah, he's downstairs. Hang on.
Thanks.
Chris! Chris, pick up the phone! What? Now! All right. I got it. You can hang up.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, Chris. It's Nancy Guppy.
Oh, hey, Nancy. Sorry about my old man. He's getting up there in age, you know.
Sort of losing his marbles. What's going on?
Hey, I'll cut to the chase. Would you like to host the Emmy Awards this weekend?
I would love to host the Emmy. Is Joel McHale not hosting?
No, he's bald and on cable. We need someone like you, hip, funny, and local.
Cool. Let me just check my calendar. What day are we talking about?
Saturday.
Saturday. What time?
Evening?
Evening. Evening is open for me.
Great.
This is going to work out great. Let me just confirm. You want me to host the Emmys this year, not my dad.
Exactly. He's not even a part of the Emmy. He shouldn't even show up. No reason for him to be there. No reason. Great. I can borrow his tuxedo. Perfect.
Looking forward to it.
Me too.
All right, we'll see you then.
Okay.
Dad! Good news!
Ma, can you go to the liquor store?
Joel McHale, host of the 2007 Northwest Emmy Awards speaking.
Hey, Joel, I've got some bad news.
What is it, Nancy? Cops finally catch Curly? Pronto.
Unfortunately, no. It's the NATAS board. They decided that you're not the best fit to host, and they want to go in another direction.
Not the best fit? Another direction? What the hell?
I'm so sorry, Joel. I can't do anything about it.
Well, you know, that's fine. It's no big deal. I'm very busy that week anyway.
Thanks for understanding.
Just out of curiosity, Who's going to host it?
Looks like Chris Cashman.
Right. He's terrific. He should be great. He's very young. Okay, then. Good talking to you, Nancy. Say hello to Joe. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Chris Cashman. He's gonna be great. He's young. He's got a full head of hair. Oh, he'll slay him. But not before I punch his face to the moon. Yeah. To the moon. To the moon. Levels, clamps, saws. Ah, wig. Check. Rubber tubing. Check. 69 cents. Oh. Pepper spray. Check. Oh, rubber cement. I love the smell of this stuff. Hammer. Check. And. Nah. Diapers. Check. Wait. I might have sushi during the trip. Just this. Oh. And these. And these. This. I need a little change. She'll understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host for the 2007 Northwest Emmy Awards. He's vibrant, he's hip, he's local, and he's got a full head of hair. Mr. Chris Cashman.
This is great. This is great to be here tonight as the host of the Northwest Emmy Awards. Joel McHale, everybody.
Hey, Chris. I got you this basket. Congratulations on hosting the Northwest Regional Emmy Awards.
You spot me a gift basket?
Yeah. Enjoy.
This is great. Surgical tubing. That's great.
Yeah, you know what else I did? I set up your own open bar backstage.
Like open bar code for free booze?
Free anything. Schnapps, Frangelico, you name it. It's back there.
Cutty Shark?
Lots of Cutty Shark.
Is it open right now?
It is open right now. Let me show it to you.
Okay.
Right over here.
Somebody cover for us.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. While we get this whole crazy host thing kind of worked out, we do have a live greeting from Mayor Greg Nichols. He's standing by. So, Mayor Nichols, please go ahead. Is he there?
Thanks, Nancy. Good evening and congratulations to all of the 44th Annual Emmy Award nominees. Your marvelous work on the small screen is impressive, important to the health and welfare of our city, and well deserving of recognition. I would have liked to have been there with you this evening in person. However, I'm answering to a higher calling. As you know, the voters spoke. The governor and I have agreed that the waterfront tunnel issue is no longer on the table, and really, I'm fine with that. I've let go. I accept that politically the tunnel is a goner. But I've decided that I must follow my bliss. Therefore, tonight, I personally am going to break ground in front of the Edgewater Inn. I'm going to tunnel southward from there, working nights and weekends with no taxpayer subsidy. In about 2030, I will emerge somewhere in the vicinity of Ye Olde Curiosity Shop, where I will have a photo opportunity with Sylvester the Mummy. Congratulations again, and viva la tunnel.
Seattle, make some noise!
Just wait.
Hands up now, put 'em up now. 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 Go,
We go to party, time to get started. Don't break this club till we can't no more. Pumps on it, pump shit, 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 pumps on it, pumps on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome at 6'4", 200 pounds, a former not very good tight end for the University of Washington Huskies. He's slightly balding, and he's on cable. Your host for the 2007 Northwest Emmy Awards, Mr. Joel McHale.
Welcome, Sonic Dancers. Who would have thought you'd ever dance to the wall? Nice. It has always been a dream of mine to be introduced by Kevin Calabro. Also part of that dream, Sonic Dancers. That was great. Welcome, everyone. You're all winners tonight, except for you who don't walk away with trophies. Really. The last awards banquet I hosted, and I am not joking, was the NASCAR Truck Series. Different crowd. Not as many Priuses outside. The meat choice was New York steak and tri-tip. A lot of beef. Those are both beef dishes, everyone. They eat beef. So, a lot of you guys work in news, and I work for a network that also has news. E-News. Try saying that with a straight face. It's hosted by my Lord and Savior, Ryan Seacrest. He is the Dan Lewis of Hollywood. I know Dan's here tonight. That is not an insult. No matter how short you are, Dan, wherever you are, you still have a foot on Ryan. I kid him because he makes so much more than pretty much all of us combined. So, you guys do similar, well, not really similar stories. I feel like we do parallel stories to you guys. You'll have a story like car crashes, pile up on the 520, and we have Lindsay Lohan crashes her nose into a pile of Coke. And you should have seen our news. I'm trying to think of like what was the biggest story here in the Northwest this year. I think you can guess what our biggest story was. Anna Nicole Smith's most predictable death in history. You should have seen our newsroom, and I'm not kidding. Interns slamming into file cabinets, people doing a lot of this, standing around, breathing, and just all a titter. And I like to walk into the newsroom in those moments and go, what's the name of that country we're fighting a war in again? And then like an intern will run by and be like, Vietnam! And I'm like, no, it's not Vietnam. And another one goes like, Grenada! And I'm like, wow, Grenada. You just got out of college, all right. E-News is, it's really just gossip. I'm glad I'm a part of that network. So a lot of people ask me, they go, Joel, have you ever offended anyone? No. The only people, we've offended 2 people pretty big time. Tyra Banks, not a fan. We've made fun of her panty party too many times, apparently. And the other one we've actually offended, and you're not going to believe this, is Paris Hilton. Who would have thought? No joke. We really did offend her. Her publicist called after the following joke. There was a while when there was a woman who looked exactly like Paris, who was just pretending to be Paris. She would show up to clubs and stuff, and we said, there's a way you can tell the difference between the fake Paris and the real Paris. The real Paris doesn't have a gag reflex. People are like, how dare you, Joel? How dare you make fun of her like that? How could you? I saw the video. It was very tasteful. All right. These Emmys, well, this table are the Emmys that will go to the winners. This is John Sharifi's spillover from his trophy hanger that he has out near, I think it's in Everett, near the Boeing hangars. So, way to go, John. Thank you. Now, a lot of you are going to win tonight, and there are a few rules. First of all, no wagering, of course, but there's a few ways we're going to do this. So, I am going to explain to you the rules with the assistance of Sonic's dancer, Abby, and Sonic's dancer, Sheena. Come on out, ladies. Look at that. So much nicer to look at than me. So, Abby, why don't you play the part of the winner? So go down there. Sheena, you play the part of trophy lady. Perfect. There will be another person up here, not Sheena, that will be holding your trophy. So here's what's happened. When you see the winning clip, which will appear on one of these jumbotrons, then you will run up here, run up the stairs. You're the winner. You come on up. You run right up those stairs. You're very happy, right? It's going great. All right, it's going really great. Yes, I will participate. Way to go. Great. This is great. Okay, then you go get your statue. You don't want to leave with that. Okay, and then you want to express your thanks in a speech in a brief way. So go ahead.
First, I would like to thank God.
That's too long. So that is way too long, and the music will come up and stop you. So that was about, just cut it to about half that. Then, after that, you will exit stage left to get your photo taken. After that, you can go back and taunt the losers. So, good. So, it looks like, Sheena, go get the trophy that Abby is trying to steal. That 20-second non-news promo winner will be pissed if you go home with that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Abby and Sheena. Nicely done. See you in Las Vegas, ladies. Or is it Oklahoma? I'm hoping for Anchorage. All right, so now I'm going to introduce the lovely trophy women. Ladies and gentlemen, also incredibly easy on the eyes. Leilani Jones, Miss Washington USA 2007, and Charlene Larango, Miss Washington Teen USA 2007. Come on out, ladies. Oh, they're coming up. Oh, look at that. Wow. You guys really are lovely. Wait, you're both teenagers, right? Yeah. Welcome. Yes. You have to do that. All right, welcome. So I don't know which table you obviously know which tables to go to. Perfect. Everything is set. We're just about to give away the first winner will come up here for the award. You guys ready? I'm not going to do that stupid I can't hear you crap. Here we go. In the category of Spot News, the Emmy goes to...
It's up to the second floor. Oh, my God.
The Petersons were just 6 months away from owning the shorefront property outright. They had plans to haul the old barge away and start fresh with a nicer place to call home. But in less than an hour, those plans were on hold. The Petersons have no insurance and no clear plan of how to put their lives back together. Thank you. I'm so happy to meet a rock star. I love watching you. Thank you. I love winning this award for this category because it's different than what I usually do, and it means a lot to me. I want to thank my great photographer that day, Pete Kessum. And I also would love to thank our desk. I feel like the desk never gets appropriately acknowledged, and it was that day, of course, that the desk heard this call on the radio or the scanner and sent us out there. And so to Ed White and his whole team on the desk, thanks a lot.
Wow, this is great. First one, so it's great. Also want to thank Susanna for her great job writing for the story, and we really got a good story that day, and also for the many great photographers that have mentored me over the years here in this market. So, and of course my wife for the support for the rotating schedule that we all work on. So, thank you very much.
Photos, guys. Photos over here. Susanna, you were supposed to jump on me. Dang it. In the category of General Assignment Report, No Time Limit, the Emmy goes to... The tension is building.
Just one more concession. Frank Murkowski becomes one of only 2 incumbent governors in state history to lose in the primary.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You got my support.
Thank you.
I'll do everything I can to see that you get elected. I mean that. All right?
Thank you.
Good luck to you and your family.
You're gonna make me cry. And
No, I don't want you to
No,
cry.
no.
Jason and Scott couldn't be here. Scott's down at NPPA winning some awards down there in Portland tonight. But I'm sure they would like to thank their news director, John Tracy, and probably the assignment desk for these great assignments that we get to do up in Alaska. Thank you.
That was a good speech. In the category of General Assignment Reporting within 24 hours, the Emmy goes to...
The Darren who helped Jay isn't this Darren, even though he figured it was you.
Yes.
More emails came in. This one from Steve, who believed the Darren we did a story about is Darren, can't pronounce that name.
Darren Kinishitsky.
Yes, him. This Darren is Jay's Darren.
I always know it's going to be a good day when I get teamed up with Doug Pigsley, one of the best photographers in the country, one of the hardest workers, incredible work ethic. So I always know it's going to be good when I'm with him. And then when we can take what we do and hand it over to Darren Tegman, then we know it's going to be above average. So, so I thank these two gentlemen for elevating my work. Thank you.
I just thought I got to do it because my name was Darren, but thank you very much, John and Doug, and it was great to work on that story, and I appreciate this. Thank you.
I'm just here because of these two guys, so thank you very much.
Nicely done, you guys. You're above average. In feature news report, No Time Limit, The Emmy goes to...
The local hero tour. You want to hand me that?
Levi Baggy prepares to celebrate his little brother.
We're all excited.
His best friend, his local hero.
We got an awesome new drummer.
Christian Baggy is visiting Levi in Eugene, back home and looking at what he's gained.
It's a pretty good little gig right here.
Even after a tremendous loss.
I am just so excited to have the chance to be up here again because I thought all my luck wore out last year. My husband wasn't able to be here last year, so I have to take the time to thank him tonight because I have 4 teenage children, and I always get asked, how do you make it in this crazy business we're in with 4 kids? And it's because of my husband, Mike Houlihan, who's sitting back there. So I want to dedicate this to him. And all my colleagues here, I wouldn't want to do anything else except be in this wonderful business with you. I'm accepting this for Kurt Austin. I want to thank him, who's also at the MPPA conference down in Portland. Thank you so much.
I have a kid, too, and people ask me how I do it, and it is neglect. All right. I love my little boy, whatever it is. In the category of breaking news, the Emmy goes to...
This area has a few homes around it, but just to the south there are lots of apartments, so pretty incredible that, only one home was involved. We heard 3 were hit, 2 certainly caught fire, and a 3rd damaged, but given some of the density that's out here, it's pretty incredible that that's the scope of the damage in this.
Thanks again to everybody at KGW, and this was one of those big spot news events that came the weekend, and our weekend crew did a great job pulling down the fort until everybody came in and did it during the week, so it was a great effort, so thank you all.
He needs a helicopter. That would make it. All right. In the category of public current community affairs feature segment, the Emmy goes to...
19 years as an officer of the law, and he never knows what the night will bring. But he can almost guarantee one thing.
I don't think a Friday night's gone by where I haven't got at least 2 DUI arrests.
And he's got numbers to back him. The average police officer makes about 20 DUI arrests each year. Last year, Officer Brinkman made
243.
Be careful, he's working tonight. I want to thank Mark Marash, who shot the story with me and edited it with me. He also is one of those people who makes it so much better than it would have been if he wasn't involved with it. So, thank you.
Bonus round, there is a second Emmy winner in this category. Let's see the tape.
These guys grab you, they're going to grab you, they're going to head shake. Your body, whatever comes off is in their mouth, and the rest of you is going to go 10, 20 feet the other way.
Paul runs the Rainforest Reptile Refuge.
You've left me more presents, have you?
A one-man operation just over the Canadian border. Home to 300 reptiles, including Terrazzo, a 24-foot-long python.
St. Brian couldn't be here tonight, neither could Mark Marash, but I accept these for them. They did a great job.
There is a guy back here with a taser, and he will get your asses moving up here. You got to run, all right? You got to run up here. All right. Nancy told me to say that. In the category of public current community affairs program special, the Emmy goes to...
I'm Robert Mack. Up front this week, Initiative 933. Does government have too much control over your property?
They will fight to the death before you're allowed to put one home on 80 acres.
A citizen revolt, upset families, angry widows. It all happened in Oregon. Up front is Washington State, the next battleground.
Well, thank you. One for Robert and Sean. Well, obviously I'm not Robert Mack, but he's one of a kind and we love him at King's, so I'm sure he's very appreciative. Thanks.
Too long of a speech. In the category of informational, instructional feature segment, the Emmy goes to...
Just hours ago, doctors delivered him by C-section after learning a donor organ was on its way from Arizona. The tiny heart isn't here yet.
They're on the ground.
Even so, in a well-coordinated plan in which every second counts, a team of surgeons begins removing Jonah's defective heart.
Thank you.
I'll make it a little bit longer and say thank you to everybody at King. There were so many people involved with this story, and it was a very difficult story to do, so thank you to everyone.
Give Blake a 10 on that speech, but I give Joan a 10 on that dress. In the category of informational, instructional programs special, the Emmy goes to...
It's okay to have your head in the clouds. It's getting pretty windy because we're taking to the skies.
You gotta keep running. I'm running in slow motion. All right.
Paragliding. It's affordable. Believe it or not, no experience necessary.
Awesome. Thanks a lot. I want to give a little shout out to Dick Marshall, who's the other photographer on this, and he's at his son's wedding shower. And Cashman, I don't know, it's not something like he would miss this opportunity to talk. So give a shout out to my parents, my girlfriend. Thank you very much.
Cashman is drinking as we speak. In fact, why don't we check in on Chris?
All right. Ow! Open bar. Who's drinking? Hey, Sonics, dancers, glow stick. You drinking? Open bar. That's free. That means for free booze. Drink with the host. Think about it. I'll be right here hosting. Ow! Who's drinking?
He holds his liquor so much better than his dad. What a mess. All right. How appropriate. In the category of children, youth, 12 and under, the Emmy goes to...
Whoa, why are we catching these?
Because there's not very many of them left in this river. Do you know what we call a species when their populations get extremely low?
You mean when there's too few of them? Endangered?
That's right. This is the Chinook salmon, and they're endangered here. When this fish was just a kid like you, it lived in the stream and was only this long. Then it swam all the way to the ocean.
My thanks to our general manager, Peter Morrill, and my husband, Jim Hansen, and my two kids who are backstage helping you put boxes around these great things. Thank you very much.
In the category of interview discussion, the Emmy goes to...
I'm Robert Mack. Up front this week, Hutcherson versus Sims. Who wins the gay rights debate?
Because I know what bigotry looks like. I have felt its pain.
He's the Democratic politician who encouraged gay couples to sue over the right to marry. He's the pastor of a large East Side church who threatened to boycott Microsoft over gay rights.
I know I'm on the winning team. I say, bring on the competition.
Well, on behalf of Robert and his producer, Mike Kate, they do great work. Thank you again.
Robert Mack is the Woody Allen of the Northwest Regional Emmy Awards. In the category of special event coverage other than news or sports, the Emmy goes to
Thank you. Jerry Schwartz couldn't be here with me tonight. He's conducting the symphony, but I wanted to thank the Seattle Symphony for allowing me to have my vision for this show. I need to thank the team. I need to thank Channel 9 for airing this, and my wonderful wife for supporting me all the way. Thank you very much.
That's a story that would never air on E. Unless Brittany showed up. What are the chances of her showing up? Never mind. All right. In the category of feature news report within 24 hours, the Emmy goes to...
So, of course, the burning question is, how does one entice an old walrus to make sweet love to his 1,800-pound honey?
Well, hopefully we won't have to do anything. Their hormones kick in, and hopefully they'll do it all.
Little wine, little sardines, some very white music.
Not necessary.
I'm not Ron. Ron is actually at home watching this on the internet, so congratulations, Ron and Eric, for doing a great job on a walrus, having, anyways, thank you.
How ironic, he's watching the awards on the internet and he won for the Walrus Love Story. Another bonus round, there is a second Emmy in this category.
Yeah, it was a happy time.
It's an album Phyllis has kept for 64 years because the love of her life...
This is his last picture.
...never came home. He was the radio man in a C-46, flying military supplies from India over the Himalayas into China.
I've been told by the significant other that I've been happily married to for 20 years now that I need to be nice at this point. Thank you. Thank all of you. Your support these last couple of very unusual weeks has been overwhelming. Thank you, and thank you to Levon for a great story, and thank the people in the story for sharing this with us, which was it was a great honor for them to call us to tell their story. And thank all of you for your support. Thank you.
Yes, the elderly and horny walruses always winners. I don't care what anybody says. In the category of community service, the Emmy goes to...
I'd actually never dealt with stages of cancer. I didn't know there wasn't a stage 5.
Andy was just 16 when she died from IBC. She was too embarrassed to tell her mother her breast looked funny. It was slightly enlarged and her nipple inverted like this. Classic IBC symptoms. The most common symptoms include rapid increase in breast size.
Thank you. I already know I'm going to talk the most, so stay back. I just want to say what an honor this is. Honest to God, at the end of my career, I'm going to look back and be so thankful for this story because I'm so proud of it. And I'm going to look back and know what a great honor it was for me to tell that story. IBC is inflammatory breast cancer. My little speech is this, that as women, we think there's one kind of breast cancer. I always thought that. This is the most lethal and aggressive form. And you don't have to have a lump to have it. So I really encourage everybody to go to our website and read about it. I really want you to know about it. So thank you for this. I want to thank John Knorr, my photographer, who volunteered many times. We've done many stories on IBC, and I remember one weekend I called him up and said, we've got to leave. It's Easter weekend. So he went, and his daughter's here tonight, so thank you to her, and thank you to my husband. And I just really lastly want to thank our management team who's here, because they gave me quite a bit of time to work on this story. We've done many pieces on it, so thank you.
In the category of Special Assignment Report, the Emmy goes to...
Play it too loud, you'll lose your hearing.
And now, MP3 players.
Play it too loud, you'll...
Well, you get the idea, but this time, the difference, say doctors, is that these new MP3 players can play louder and much longer before the batteries ever run out. Up to 20 hours straight. Songs run one after the other.
Well, I'd like to thank the photographers who put up for a series of reports, or put up with my crazy ideas, and Tree No for putting them all together, and Bob Thronson for when I show him a script, he goes, "What the hell's this?" I say, "It works, just do it." And he did it. So I appreciate all that. Thank you very much.
What did he say? See? Stupid. Sorry. iPod. That was horrible. That was my dad joke. So, okay. In the category of Advanced Media Interactivity, the Emmy goes to...
Thanks for visiting. I'm Tom Skerritt. I want to show you what Windows Vista can do for you. All right, find out all you need to know about your next ski jacket before you take it out here on the slopes. The North Face brings together 3D images, video, and audio.
Thank you so much. I'd like to thank NATAS for recognizing a new and emerging media and understanding that video is not just about broadcast, but it's about new and different screens. Thank you.
It's our first Priest winner tonight, so... Okay, take a little break here. Many people ask me, what's the secret to winning an Emmy? But, you know, there's no surefire formula. It takes hard work, long hours, and most importantly, the ability to find and exploit heartwarming stories like this one, simply titled Tommy.
"11-year-old Tommy Johnson is Centerville Elementary's star pitcher, throwing a fastball that clocks in at an astonishing 87 miles per hour. But that's not all. Tommy is also winner of the International Young People's Origami Championship held annually in Kyoto, Japan, winning with this intricate wiener dog. And in his spare time, Tommy carves chainsaw sculptures, like this life-size depiction of his grandmother he fashioned out of an old walnut stump. But none of this is unusual for a talented youngster like Tommy. What's unusual is that Tommy is blind. And he has no hands. And his bimodal cerebral cortex lobe is mostly missing. In fact, Tommy is dead. So how has this blind, no-handed, brain-missing dead boy accomplished so much in his short life? I had the same question. Neighbor Patty Jensen has known Tommy since he was 3.
I don't know how he does it. I mean, with no hands and being dead and all, he is something else. Tommy, don't forget that parking strip.
Peter Davidson is Tommy's gay principal at Centerville Elementary.
I wish I had a whole school full of Tommies. I mean, Susie, no poking. I mean, you know, he's a little quiet. What an inspiration to the rest of the kids, really. There he is now. Hi, Tommy.
I asked Tommy's longtime physician, Dr. Marvin Sinderman, how Tommy has been able to overcome the physical challenges that would have put most people in the ground or in one of those little urns if they chose cremation.
One word: positive attitude. Of course, not everyone is happy with the attention Tommy receives.
Well, I don't understand why our Kara isn't getting the same kind of attention as Tommy.
Could be because she is sighted, she has hands, her bimodal cerebral cortex lobe isn't mostly missing, and she's alive.
Maybe.
As I reflect on this story, I realize the word most often used to describe Tommy Johnson is quiet. The second word most often used is inspiring. Put together, those two would be quietly inspiring. A word that, to this reporter, perfectly describes Tommy Johnson. Okay, let's get that Jamba Juice. It's Emmy time.
Can I get a strawberry surf rider with a protein boost?
How expensive is that?
That's not too much.
Wow. John Sharifi is pissed he didn't get the scoop on that one. Here we go. I'm sorry, I'm going to cry. All right. In the category of Advanced Media News Programming, the Emmy goes to...
Ohio is being two pickups for the Democrats right now. So that's where we stand right now. Democrats picking up 2 seats.
Again, though, were these
after
expected? Even though they were close races, we did expect these to go Democratic?
I wasn't quite sure on the Menendez race because some of the polls were a bit in flux in that. But I would have to say that, you know, Thomas Kean had a pretty difficult opportunity to pick that one up.
Well, I'm not Corey Bergman either, but Corey is out celebrating his wedding tonight, as are many people at King 5, so that's why many of us aren't here. But anyway, this is great, and thank you to everybody who participated in this, because there were a lot of folks that came together to make it happen. Thank you all.
Robert Mack is mocking us. That's 3 for Robert. He's not even here. In the category of Advanced Media Arts Entertainment, the Emmy goes to...
Normally I review cars. Today I'm reviewing Cars, the movie.
Thank you for doing a great job.
Buckle your seatbelts. Pixar's new movie is about to start the summer's box office race. Go! Thanks. I'd like to thank Corey Bergman and John Goff because they put all this stuff on the internet, and without them I couldn't do it. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Wayne Lynch at Northwest Cable News because how many here came in a car today? Raise your hand. That many? He's about the only news director in the country that will do things about cars, and it's one of those things that touches all of us, and I really appreciate that. So thanks, Wayne. Take care.
In the category of Advanced Media Children, Youths, Teens, the Emmy goes to...
Route or spawning habitat is damaged, it will affect the whole population. Fishing for Idaho natives mean you need to know how to identify the fish. This boy's caught himself a whole stringer of mountain whitefish.
That's a lot of whitefish. Yeah, it is.
My thanks to the web team. House produced this. It's Rick Pentecost, Stephanie Dickey, Karen Myers, Chris Freeland, and our program director, Ron Pizanetsky. Thank you.
It says here Joel exit stage, and I did. So, well, come on, guys.
Hi there, I'm Tracy Record. I'm Assistant News Director from KCPQ here in Seattle, and I'm here tonight as co-chair of the NATAS Student Awards Committee.
And I'm Scott LaPlante, Tracy's humble assistant, and I'm the National Trustee. And we're going to have all of our students come out on stage if we could. Ballard, can you come up?
We're here to talk first about the Student Television Award for Excellence. It recognizes outstanding television journalism by high school students. It's part of the National Student Television Program, and we at NATAS are very pleased tonight that you can help us honor the Northwest Regional winners. They're among student producer-writer teams from around the country who submitted entries in 7 categories. Many of them are from schools, but some of them are from nonprofit programs that also focus on encouraging and supporting television skills. You can see the full list of winners in your program. Right now, we would like to honor the winners who were able to join us tonight. The first group, the nonprofit organization Tin Can from Spokane, Washington. Raise your hands, everybody. Tin Can received the Student TV Award for Excellence in the documentary category for their entry, The Circle documentary. Here from Tin Can, we have students Nora Taylor, Ian Petrovsky, Sophia Lawhead, and their advisor, Hannah Whitmore. Congratulations again to you guys. Next, we have another nonprofit group. It's Southern Oregon Drug Awareness, or SODA. They're from Central Point, Oregon, which, if you're not familiar with it, is down near Medford. SODA received the Hubbard Family Community and Public Service Award for the entry Teen Drinking. Here from SODA, we have students from Crater, Central Point, and Eagle Point High Schools in Southern Oregon. Christine Hayes, Mia Russell, Amanda Lyon, Zach Nave, Laura Kaufman, and their advisor, Sean Martinez. Congratulations. We have 2 more schools to honor. First, Ballard High School here in Seattle. Ballard High received the Writing Award for the entry Bittersweet. Here from Ballard High, we have students George Westberg, Coburn Erskine, Devin Sizemore, Becca Rise, and their advisor, Matt Lawrence. Congratulations. And finally, we have South Kitsap High School in Port Orchard, Washington. South Kitsap High received 2 Student TV Awards for Excellence this year. One of them is in the Arts, Entertainment, Cultural Affairs category. The entry was called Skate Town. And the second was in the sports category for the entry Longboarding. Here from South Kitsap, student Andrew Sadler. Once again, congratulations not only to these recipients, but to everybody in the Northwest who received a National Student TV Award for Excellence this year. In this time of dramatic change for our industry, it's vital that we nurture and encourage the next generation, not only so there's somebody to carry on for us, but also somebody to imagine and create that which we can't even dream of today. Thanks.
Another way we promote excellence in television and media in the Northwest is through the NATAS Scholarship Fund. These scholarships provide students the assistance they need to complete their studies and pursue their careers. This year, we are awarding 2 $2,500 scholarships. You may recognize some of the names of previous scholarship recipients: Mary Nam, Como, Angela King from KCPQ, Amy Pribble from Cairo, and Troy Oppie is now at KECI TV. There are others around the Northwest and throughout the country. Our scholarship recipients this year also show great promise and potential. Unfortunately, they both had prior engagements and aren't with us tonight. But I did want to mention who they are and a little bit about them. Melanie Overcast from the University of Montana is a 4.0 student whose goal is to become a television news producer. Her university advisor writes, "Melanie is a standout student and an incredibly hard worker. She takes pride in her news work and great pains to produce a compelling product. Her writing shows great promise and her story ideas belie her age. She'll be a superstar one day." Our second scholarship goes to Chanel Smith, a senior at the University of Washington. Here's what she writes about herself. I am lucky to have found my passion at a young age. My professional long-term goal is to become an online videocast business journalist. I want to harness my print and broadcast journalism skills to develop business multimedia on the internet that is accessible 24/7. I don't know about you, but I think Cairo better line up to hire these gals someday. I also want to thank those who supported the Emmy All-Star Show and Auction, which is our main fundraiser for scholarships. A special thanks to Gary Gibson, Lisa Yackel, all the bands and performers for making this event a huge success. Last, I would like to thank the NATAS board, whose generous personal donations funded one of our scholarships this year. Thank you very much, and congratulations to our winners. Now we would like to announce the Emmy Awards for the college university student categories. This year we have expanded to 3 categories: long news format, short news format, and entertainment.
We intended these changes to clearly define the categories for competition, and we're hoping that'll spur even more interest among the college and university TV programs here in the Northwest.
Our winners here tonight, we wanted to announce them in this way, with the category of news long format being the first, going to the University of Montana for Butte Reborn, the mining city in the 21st century. Gabriel Ferguson, producer. Accepting the award is Kaylin Sloan from the University of Montana.
On behalf of my class and the others from the University of Montana, we'd like to thank Montana PBS, the Greater Montana Foundation, and Ray and Denise, of course.
Our second of 3 awards in the category of news short form, the Emmy goes to the University of Montana for mold investigation, Ryan Coleman, reporter, and Amber Bushnell, photographer. And the third is entertainment, which the Emmy goes to, guess who, the University of Montana. For business made in Montana by the Radio TV Department junior class, we congratulate all of tonight's nominees and winners.
Thank you very much. That was very fun. And thank you very much to NATAS for our scholarships and for giving us this opportunity and for hiring us when we graduate. And if anybody's looking for some Emmy-winning reporters, I know where you can find one.
The winner for bringing the most paper up here, Scott LaPlante. Nicely done, University of Montana. Didn't realize we had so much mold. It's horrible. A lot of people think the youth are our future. I don't agree. Let's get right back into the awards. We are 1/8 of the way through, so here we go. In the category of Arts, Entertainment, Feature Segment, the Emmy goes to...
But we have one final stop on our backroads journey. Our final story takes us to eastern Montana, where we'll meet a woman who's taken her family's history and used it to forge a strong connection to a place she now calls home.
And here's where it goes in. You recall that it went down the slough and it came over here like this?
Right.
Okay, so that's...
I'm not John Twiggs, but I know he would want to thank Montana PBS, KUSM in Bozeman, and KUFM in Missoula, and our boss at the Broadcast Media Center, William Marcus, and also the host of the Backroads Montana show. Thank you.
William wanted to be here, but he was getting a shave and a wax. He was... You get a newsroom. In the category of Arts Entertainment Program Special, the Emmy goes to...
Hi, and welcome to the show, coming to you from Pioneer Square. This is Seattle's version of New York City, a great place to walk around and check stuff out. Well, we've got a terrific show for you. Musician Aaron Jorgensen plays the marimba and sings in French, a killer combo. And we'll get it going with the classiest act in town, the Dudley Man-Love Quartet.
Thank you. Well, the arts are alive and well in Seattle. 3 people I want to mention. Joe Guppy, my most favorite creative collaborator by far, as well as partner. We're about to celebrate 20 years of marriage. Yeah, we made it. It's been bliss the whole time, believe me. Gary Gibson, general manager of the Seattle Channel. Gary, yes, indeed. He's a big picture guy. He's a visionary. He's generous, encouraging, deeply committed to the local art scene. Plus, I just plain like him. Gary, it is an ongoing pleasure. And finally, my dynamic partner in crime, Miss Valerie Vaza. Right, where is she? She's hiding. It's a rare thing in this business, and many of you know this, when you find someone who speaks your creative language, and this chick does it in spades. Valerie shoots and edits and co-produces City of Go-Go. She helped create the look of the show, the feel of the show over 5 years ago. It's been an absolute joy to work with her ever since. Valerie, you totally rock.
Likewise. Nancy, thanks for asking me to be a part of this project. It's really, it's just so great to be involved with something this fabulous at this point in my career.
Should we make out at this point? I feel like we should make out. Spice it up.
Get out. And Gary Gibson, for your unwavering dedication to arts programming in Seattle. Thank you. And for those of you out there who are not part of a commercial station, who don't work in TV news, who cares? Keep entering, okay? Because we win. We win.
Thank you.
That's what we say at E. Just keep entering. The girls next door will win sometime. Oh, that's a great show. I'm embarrassed by it. In the category of Historic Cultural Feature Segment, the Emmy goes to...
It just might be the world's most famous rock and roll song.
Louie Louie is really the essence of rock and roll.
A song shrouded in mystery. How did a tune recorded so sloppily wind up as a hit?
Broken record here. St. Brian and Mark Morash couldn't be here tonight, but congratulations for their great work.
Is there the wedding too, aren't they? All right. Double bonus. There is another Emmy in this category, and the Emmy goes to...
A swing set in a pasture is all the playground at Decatur School in San Juan County. There's no gym here, no lunchroom. Computer room, you're looking at it.
They know that some parts of me are stuck in old-fashioned mode. Take out your spelling books.
You see, Karen Lamb's classroom is also the library, art room, and auditorium. And you...
Thanks. I didn't prepare anything to say for this, but thanks to Mark Morash, who shot this and edited this and put up with at least one revision. And I want to thank my boss, Mark Erskine, who supported this story and even let us fly Maggie, the float plane, all the way to Decatur Island. And to Rick Swanson and Ray Heacock for supporting local programming and letting us do stories that are outside of news. Thank you very much.
We just got word that King wedding is not going well. A couple of them have been poisoned already. So, those of you not invited, you made the right choice in giving whoever's getting married a cold shoulder. So, in the category of Historic Cultural Program Special, the Emmy goes to...
Who is Sam Hill? I don't know.
Sam Hill.
Sam Hill.
Wait, Sam Hill. I read he's on one of the signs back there. I know that much.
I kind of know that one.
Lewis and Clark I've heard of, but Sam Hill? No idea.
This is so special. Mike Midlow couldn't be here tonight, but I wanted on his behalf, he is so thrilled about this. Oregon Experience is our new historical show that we're doing at Oregon Public Broadcasting with the Oregon Historical Society, and this is the first long-form show that Mike Midlow has done, and he is so honored by this. Thank you so much, and thank you on behalf of Bruce Barrow, the editor, as well. This is a great honor. Thank you.
My mother-in-law doesn't like it when I swear, so on the soup, she wished I would say, instead of what the hell, she wishes I would say, what in the Sam Hill? Yeah, fuck that. In the category of health and science, the Emmy goes to...
Good evening. What I'm going to tell you might surprise you. That the #1 cancer killer isn't breast cancer or prostate or colon cancer. It's lung cancer. And lung cancer can affect those who don't smoke. It also affects more women than men.
Again, just a thank you to King for letting us do specials like this, and it's also a pleasure to work with Gene Anderson, who approaches these specials with such passion. So thank you to everyone, and all these people too, and many more out there who contributed.
Thank you.
That was great. Who was the talent in that piece? Gene Anderson joke, I guess. He's royalty. All right. In the category of politics, government, the Emmy goes to...
You won't see much on TV about the races for state Supreme Court. Let's be honest, the issues are often dry, the campaigns boring, the elections largely ignored by the public. But not this year. The gay marriage case was a reminder to many voters that there is a third branch of government, that maybe it does matter who these justices are.
You know, when it comes to covering government and politics, a lot of TV stations across the country don't do it because many news directors believe it doesn't get ratings. And our news management supports it. Our news director, Pat Costello, encourages it, and Robert Mack and Mike Kate do a fabulous job. And I want to acknowledge Mike Blakey, too, who edits all of the upfronts and does it with grace and talent, and he's just a joy, too. So thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brooke Stanford, a NATAS board member, and formerly the people helper at Como TV. Tonight, I want to honor a man who recently passed from our midst after a memorable career in broadcasting. He's probably the only anchor to appear at one time or another on channels 4, 5, and 7. In the 70s, he was my boss. I was going through the stress of coming out to my wife, children, and friends as a gay man. A former employee who was fired for incompetence blamed me and threatened me with blackmail. He called Jim Harriet, who was then the news director at Como TV, and threatened to disclose my sexual orientation. I was trembling as Jim called me into his office, but when I told him my truth, he said, "You're a good man and you have nothing to fear from this guy." When a man called Jim later and told the man, "Threaten Brooke again and you'll be in jail." How'd you like to have a boss like that? Tonight, Kathy Gertson takes a look back to honor a real professional and, above all, a good man, Jim Harriet.
For News have lost a friend and a longtime colleague. Jim Harriet passed away on Saturday from complications following a series of strokes. Dan and I shared the set with Jim for several years when he served as Como's news director and main anchor. This is the Jim Harriet you never saw, an NBC radio network anchor back in the 60s.
A special 2-hour program.
Seattle met Jim for the first time in 1971 at King TV. Later, he and Gene Anderson debuted as the first male-female anchor team in the U.S. Then, in 1977, Jim made the transition from anchor to news director and anchor at KOMO 4.
Special tribute to Senator Barry Goldwater.
From rubbing shoulders with presidents to the conventions, Jim anchored and covered the big stories on KOMO for a decade.
For more on the story, let's go live via satellite.
He even got a shot at Hollywood in a quick cameo from the 1983 movie War Games. Jim signed off here 19 years ago to settle into an anchor chair in D.C.
Good night and goodbye.
That night, we sent him off with applause. And now, as then, we keep fond memories.
Jim,
and we certainly do wish his family well.
He's a terrific guy.
Buying a home.
Jim, you're going to be missed, and we'll remember others in our industry whom we lost during the past year. Howard Rameli, a pioneering news photographer since the day that KOMO TV went on the air. He's remembered for a time-lapse sequence in which the Space Needle was built in 10 seconds, and for many inventions which lessened the burden of our news photographers down the road. Nick Freeman, a 1994 Silver Circle inductee, 37 years an announcer at Channels 7 and 13. Nick was known for his deep baritone voice as part of a team that brought Cairo TV onto the air in 1958. Norma Goodman, Alaska's First Lady of Television, who hosted a talk show for 50 years on KTVA television in Anchorage. Michael Tondro, who gave 42 years of engineering skill to Oregon Public Broadcasting. John Van Voorhees, the gentle giant who engineered KOMO TV for 37 years. Edward Hewson Jr., a leader in the success of King Broadcasting. John Kerry, an Emmy Award winner, most recently of KCTS Television. Lou Rambo of KCTS TV and University of Washington Closed Circuit Television. Mary Elizabeth Farnham, a female pioneer at both King and Cairo. Art Weber, who was the first face on the air at KFBB Television in Great Falls, Montana. And Len Sampson, actor, singer, and dancer, who had his own show on KOMO TV in the 60s and later helped with many charitable causes. The names you've just heard are those of pioneers, people on whose courage and innovation we've been able to build our own careers. We remember them and we thank them.
All right. In the category of sports news single story, the Emmy goes to
Advanced age and the passage of time and the frailty of the human body politely step aside when the Northwest 80s show up to play ball.
We're pretty proud of the fact that we're still playing.
Every one of them is at least 80 years old. But the feel of a bat in their hands and the sun on their backs makes old age yesterday's news.
I'm shocked at being up here considering the competition, but I'd like to thank Eric and Darren Tegman for this. Thank you.
There is a second winner in this category, and the Emmy goes to...
Or was. But you wonder if maybe somehow, somewhere, it's still in there. A flittering, fading glimpse of that glorious summer night in 1938 when Al Hostak, packing dynamite in either hand, punched his way to the top of the world.
could not be here tonight. I just wanted to say thank you to Eric and John Knorr. And also, Al Hostak passed away a few months after this story aired. And I'm glad that at least we got to tell his story, his contribution to Seattle history that kind of went forgotten for many years. So thank you to him and to his family for helping us put this story together. Thank you very much.
Say thank you. That's it.
Robert Bank took your Emmy, so that guy. In the category of sports feature segment, the Emmy goes to...
Far from the well-trimmed courts or backyard lawns, a group of friends are putting a new spin on an old sport.
The terrain's different, the attire is outlandish, and the cheating runs rampant.
Coming on down the line. 4.
Once known as a game for the elite, these players are taking the sport of croquet to the extreme.
Calling my wife because I was too cheap to invite her along, so I thought, I'm not going to win. I want to save $100. Hey, I won. Yeah. Say hi to everybody. I'm winning. Say hi. Oh, you can't hear it. I love you. I won Sports Store. I'm on stage right now. Okay, say hi. Okay, she's there. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Finally, a story about croquet. In the category of sports program series, the Emmy goes to...
Whether you're racing the clock or escaping the clock, bicycling offers something for everyone.
Yahoo!
And Idaho is the perfect backdrop.
This stretch along here, it's like actually riding a bicycle through a painting.
We would have given you a bicycle to get up here.
I'm actually accepting this on behalf of Marcia Franklin, who's off riding her bike. Thank you very much.
In the category of sports one-time special, the Emmy goes to...
Welcome to day 2 of the Seahawks draft. We're at Seahawks headquarters in Kirkland, and I'm here with senior analyst Rob Rang from NFLDraftScout.com. Rob, thanks for joining us again. Your thoughts? You hit Kelly Jennings right on the head, and you missed Darryl Tapp by 1 in your projections. Talk about the 2 players and how they'll fit in with the Seahawks. I really like how the 2 players do.
I'm here to accept for our team here at FSN Northwest and for the Seahawks for allowing us access to all the information that we got there. Thank you.
I hear someone backstage. I think it's Chris Cashman.
No, this guy's weak. He's weak. He's on national TV. Weak material, not funny. Barkeep, keep him coming. Let's go.
I better go get him more diapers. Wow. Okay, he just had a kid, everyone. 16 days ago, and I'm not joking. No, it's sad that he's drinking that much. All right, in the category of documentary, cultural, historical, the Emmy goes to...
But not to women of any social standing. Not until well into the 20th century and the year 1920 did a constitutional amendment finally grant suffrage, voting rights, to American women.
This is very nice. I'm not Eric Kane either, but on behalf of Eric, he would be so thrilled. Thank you so much. He does want me to thank some folks. The incredible Lisa Swin-Callum, who edited this show, and basically she edited this out of newspaper clippings and old photos and came up with a beautiful, beautiful show. Videographers Nick Fisher, Tom Schreider, Greg Bond. Special thanks to the University of Oregon and to Professor Gene Ward from Lewis and Clark College, and of course the Oregon Historical Society, who is our co-producer in the series Oregon Experience. Thank you so much. This is a great honor. Thank you very much.
There is another winner in this category, and the Emmy goes to...
A man, whether it be a boyfriend to take care of me or a man to pay me for sex. A lot of the men that come see me aren't that men. They're men that have life completely together. They have wives, they have families, they have well-to-do jobs, they're driving brand new cars, they own their homes.
On behalf of the producer, and also on behalf of Randy Brinson and Eric Mackey, who actually were the ones behind the creation of About Us, which is a show that features independent filmmakers. Thank you.
You're not going to believe this. There is a third winner in this category, and because they are the third, they're going to win the glow sticks. The Emmy goes to...
Alaska has always represented a vision. But for the people of Alaska, one persistent vision was to become Americans. A vision thwarted for 92 years by powerful commercial interests that ruled the territory from a distance.
Were shot in Alaska, and they seeded them almost in Alaska.
I have to thank everybody, of course, at the University of Alaska, my boss, Claudia Clark, for putting up with me, and Deb Lawton as well, Karen Perdue, and, of course, the wonderful delegates that are still surviving that we had the privilege of working with in this project. Thank you very much.
And I also would like to give a big shout out to our coworker, Aaron Elterman, who's here, and all of the archivists in the state of Alaska, because they're so amazing. Thanks.
In a few years, Alaska's going to have the same climate we have now, so let's start moving up there. In the category of documentary topical, the Emmy goes to...
Each of these children needs a life-changing organ transplant.
Without a heart, we wouldn't have had any options.
Tonight, go inside with the transplant team at Seattle's Children's Hospital.
He's going to fix my tummy.
As some get their precious transplant.
There's our kidney.
And others must wait.
Again, thank you, and also thank you to Kim for just collaborating and making a great special.
Thank you. This was one of those specials I got to work on. It was such a privilege to be involved with something. As these families, their children got transplants, we were able to be right there in the surgery, in the waiting room with the families, and it was just one of those times when you really feel like you get the coolest job in the world to be able to do that. So thanks to King for letting me participate in this. Appreciate it.
Joan, just want you to stay up here, all right? In the category of news special, the Emmy goes to...
The ceremonial starts Saturday, March 4th, all smiles and fun. A short run through the streets of downtown Anchorage. 11 miles in all. Mushers, family, and Iditariders. No stress, no competition.
great honor for the Iditarod, the last great race, and the Iditarod Trail sled dog race to even be here. The real recognition should go to Greg Heisler, who at this very moment is climbing the tallest peak in North America, Denali, Terry Burge, a longtime Alaskan, and our very own Iditarod Trail member, Chaz St. George. But the real recognition should go to the four-legged athletes that made this possible. Thanks, NATAS.
Good evening. How is everybody tonight? Excellent. I'm here right now, number one, because Chris Cashman wouldn't let me in the bar. And I have the pleasure of introducing the first Silver Circle inductee of the evening, Sharon Howard. Sharon is very worried that this is the time that people are going to take a bathroom break, so we're kind of watching. 17 years ago tonight, Sharon and her husband, Mike Rosen, Danny Ibabau, and I were on an amazing project together in Africa that ended up being an award-winning program called Vanishing Giants. My association with Sharon at that time was strictly professional, even though I had been at Como for 3 years then. I hadn't worked with Sharon. I didn't know much about her, and she didn't know much about me. That program, those 2 weeks in Africa, the production of Vanishing Giants ended up being one of the highlights of my career, one of the most enjoyable and exciting projects I ever worked on, and it was the beginning of a long-time friendship. I think we all admire the people in our business who truly work from the heart, people who give you all they have and more whenever they can. Sharon Howard is one of those people. I have right here Sharon's passport, and it only begins to reflect the lengths Sharon will go to find and tell a great story. Sharon has tremendous passion for our world, a passion you see in the program she has created, and here is just a glimpse of that right now.
My favorite part of the whole process is being out in the wild with the animals themselves.
To appreciate Sharon's journey to this evening, we need to acknowledge 2 Silver Circle inductees who were there at the beginning. J.P. Patches and Gertrude, along with the Cairo crew, introduced Seattle's first woman full-time floor director to the mayhem and magic of live television.
There comes the snow.
Julius, where are you?
Hi, I'm Steve Rabel. Welcome to PMX.
Steve, whatever.
Preferring to work behind the camera, Sharon tries her hand at writing and producing and joins Cairo's PM magazine as a story producer. Sharon's talent for producing is quickly recognized, and her trademark style begins to emerge. Her abilities were noticed across the street, and Sharon was asked to join Como TV to help launch Frontrunners. While at Como, Sharon was able to bring her voice, her skills, and her passion into perfect harmony. And the results were amazing.
If we don't revive the salmon, we do not provide the food for the eagles.
I look at Lolita in her captive environment, and there's nothing about that that's normal.
If
just simply means it's a place that we need to share.
Here, each plant and animal becomes a vital thread that joins others, weaving together a rich fabric of living things that forms the tapestry of life we know as Earth.
In 1997, Sharon left Como to form Howard Rosen Productions with her husband, Mike Rosen.
What are our natural connections to this place we call home?
Sharon's voice continued to get stronger. It's our world that Sharon works hardest to protect. She has taken viewers to some of its most remote locations so they too understand its beauty and precious nature.
I am an ancient spirit who has walked the earth for many thousands of years. In the beginning, I showed the two-legged ones how to hunt. The Arapaho call me the Great Teacher. Those who study me call me Canis Lupus. Those who hate me call me evil.
Sharon's uncompromising passion and unique style respects the viewer and has resulted in praise from critics, viewers, and sponsors. She's been showered with awards, including 29 Emmys and a coveted Peabody Award. Acting throughout her career as writer-producer, she tells stories using her own inspired words, strong images, music, and sound. But Sharon's true magic lies in her ability to tap into the passion of those who dedicate their lives to conservation. It is her true legacy.
I think it's very tragic that the human species is losing contact with the rest of the animal kingdom, because we're all part of a great big sort of chain, and man cannot live in isolation.
We're really literally saving ourselves by acknowledging that all of these other life forms have a right to exist.
Biodiversity is the creation, and no matter what's your religious belief or your lack of religious belief, I think you would have to find compelling the argument that it is simply wrong to destroy the creation.
We hope there are many more stamps destined for Sharon's passport. It means we, as viewers and colleagues, will be treated to a world of new adventures and the opportunity to understand the importance of all life on our planet.
Please welcome one of the best in the business, Sharon Howard.
Thank you, Dan Lewis. Thank you, Dan Ebabau, for that out-of-body experience. Oh, my God. Get into television and see the world, I guess, huh? Oh. As everybody in this room knows, making television is a team effort, and so many people are responsible for this. First off was John Barry, who in 1977 knocked at my door and said, Sharon, I have a lot of male floor directors at Cairo, and the FCC and other people are telling me that I have to hire a woman. Do you want a job? And I said yes. And so, John, I know that any woman probably would have done, the job, but thanks for choosing me. I'd like to thank Director Joe Tui for teaching me timing, Engineer Kevin Blazina for teaching me what little I know about the technical end of the business. I can remember my first Sonics game. To televise it, I was laying this cable, seemed like miles of cable, and I took the end of it to Kevin in the truck, and he said, "Sharon, this is the female end. I need the male end. Always remember, F the truck." Well, he didn't say F, and how was I to know that cable had sex, But Joe and Kevin are no longer with us, but their legacies continue. I owe a lot to a clown named Patches. Chris Wheatus is Patches Pals. Chris Wheatus is just as sharp and just as funny as he was 30 years ago when we worked together, and I enjoy his company to this day. As every writer out there knows, the people that read your scripts can make an okay story good and a good story great. To the people who have elevated my scripts, I thank you. And they are Colleen Morgan, Steve Rabel, Steve Poole, Kathy Gertzen, Peter Coyote, Paul Newman, and my very favorite, Mr. Dan Lewis. I would like to thank the original Frontrunners crew, producer Ken Morrison, photographers Arlo Smith and Chuck O'Farrell, and editors, sound man, and recently producer, writer, and everybody's good friend, Dan Ebabau. There were 5 people that did Frontrunners, and 4 of us who were there on the first day were there on the last day 9 years later. And that was certainly a tribute to our fearless leader, Mr. Dick Warszynski. Dick's philosophy of television seemed to be, to me anyway, Richard, to allow producers to do the stories they wanted to do. There would be more interest, there would be more passion, and good television would follow. Well, he must have been right, because Frontrunners, to the best of my knowledge, was one of, if not the most awarded television show in local history. I understand that Dick has recently taken a job at KCTS as general manager. I just want to say, KCTS, you are one lucky station. Last of all, in the thank you department, I would like to thank 4 people that are just one. My husband, my best friend, my business partner, and my soulmate, Mike Rosen. You have always been my inspiration, and you always will be. And to all of you new producers and writers out there, I'd just like to say, I invite you to find the good stories, to seek them out, to tell them honestly and ethically, to always respect your subjects, and whenever possible, tell your stories to the heart as well as the head. If you do this, you will be successful, and you will change the world. Thank you for this, NATAS. Thank you so much. I am so honored. Thank you.
Sharon Howard, ladies and gentlemen. How many of you have been rubbed by a gorilla? 0. Sharon has. In the category of Human Interest News Series, the Emmy goes to...
Stephanie can't cure her friend, but she figured there was one gift she'd gladly give away.
That's my hair.
If Tommy needed a new head of hair, Stephanie would give her own to replace what chemo and radiation had taken away.
I am so touched that she would offer it to me, and I would be honored.
Thank you. There are stories that we all get to do that put your own petty problems in perspective comparatively, and this was one of those stories. Tommy let us tell her last few weeks of life and the simple little gift that her friend gave her those last few weeks. It's a story that matters, and I hope it's not the last time that I get to tell one like that. Thank you.
In the category of promotion, news, promo, single spot, the Emmy goes to...
Here in the Northwest, there is only one news team that sets the standard for excellence. Only one news team made up of the most respected journalists, the most experienced crews, working together to bring you in-depth stories, report on critical issues, and to keep you ahead of the storm.
This isn't it. It aired. That was it. Oh. Steve and Chris. Oh, well.
Because we didn't win.
We did. That is the right video, right? I saw it air. My wife saw it. Hi, Cassie. Hi. All right. Oh, there she is. Chris with a K. They didn't have his ticket either.
Well, I'll take mine.
Yeah, it's mine. He really did all the work. You want to say anything?
It was all his idea. I just do what he tells me to do.
Oh, great. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. It's a smooth operation you have come to expect here at the Northwest Regional Emmys. Remember, check your Emmy for your own name. There is a second Emmy in this category, and hopefully we have it. And the winner of that Emmy is...
know was that the Hawks preview and review are in fact two different reports. One on Saturday before the game and one on Monday after. When he tried getting out and doing twice the work, let's just say the boss was about as happy as a bear in a beehive.
I better get to work.
The Hawks on NWCN. Y'all come back.
I'd like to thank Wayne Lynch and Jan Katzenberger for letting me kind of roll with some odd ideas, I guess. And most of all, I'd like to thank my wife. She gives me the best promotional ideas. They are sadly very filthy, and so you won't ever see them. Rich Marriott's topless weather topical will not be seen. So.
All right. In the category of promotional news promo campaign, the Emmy goes to...
Fraud exposed. Danger uncovered. Thieves revealed. The King 5 investigators asked the tough questions.
You've got a long criminal history. Are people safe with you here?
Now, see the results of our reports.
Sounds like you better get a license.
I better do something.
Sunday in a prime time special. Find out what happened.
Many thanks to the King 5 investigators for being so good at what they do. Thanks to the rest of those in creative services that help me do my best. And many thanks to my beautiful wife who doesn't mind me switching channels to watch commercials.
Dan Lewis, I just discovered your new haircut. Okay. In the category of promotional program single spot, the Emmy goes to...
For decades, we've been working to find the perfect blend of high school football and aviation. Take to the air for Friday Night Flights, sponsored by Carl's Jr.
Gary Furley couldn't be here tonight, but thank you very much. And KGW, the best graphic department in all of Portland and all the Northwest. Thank you very much.
That sounded like a challenge for everybody. So, okay. To fight in the parking lot.
My graphics
in the category of promotion program campaign, the Emmy goes to...
For me,
UPN 11 and the Mariners are a dream come true. Now that I'm actually wearing Mariners games, Melissa from sales is all over me.
Bob, you've been working out.
The Mariners and UPN 11 put me on the A-list, baby.
Ooh, that's like what, a 17-inch monitor?
Wow. I really want to thank whoever made those really little dessert things that we're all eating. And if you guys have any extras, I have kids, and I really appreciate them. I want to thank a couple of really talented guys that I get an opportunity to work with, especially Bob, who had no intention of being in this spot, but we couldn't afford a real actor. So, Bob, here you go. Thanks a lot.
Well, thank you. Now that I have this acting thing down, I think I want to direct.
I just want to thank Dean. It's kind of fun to work with somebody who's got a great sense of humor, and it's paid off, I think, this time. And I think I've discovered a secret. All you have to do is email your spots to my wife, and if she laughs really hard, you got a winner. And it worked. Cool.
I have been emailing your wife. And she does not laugh. In the category of community public service PSAs single spots, the Emmy goes to...
From a young smoker, from the most scuzerific friends in the universe, Smoke Buddy, Flemmy, Stinker, Mr. Wrinkles.
Special thanks to the two guys who actually wrote that ad. I did not. I'm just the guy who left his tie in Joel McHale's dressing room. Really, there are a lot of people who put a lot of heart and passion into the whole No Stank You campaign. A lot of people here tonight also from the various stations around Washington State helped a lot because they aired this spot. You know, we only have a certain budget. They gave us lots of bonus spots. Thanks to everyone out there who played these ads when they didn't have to. Thanks to you and everyone who was a part of this campaign. The teen smoking rates continue to drop in Washington State every year. So thanks to everyone.
There's only a few places in the country where you can win an Emmy where a guy is vomiting onto a woman's chest. And it's right here in the Northwest where that can happen. There is a second Emmy in this category, and the Emmy goes to...
Documentary. Taxidermy, empty golfer's boots. Trapping's hardest rocket science. Couscous. These are all things you can see in a documentary. Nude skydiving, whale migration, malaria.
Thank you to the film festival who allows us to do work like this. And I was a little concerned if we won that it might be a little offensive since all of you do like these moving, hard-hitting news pieces. And then there was a segment on Tommy, the dead boy that was blind, and so then I wasn't so worried anymore. Thank you very much.
In the category of Community Public Service PSA's campaign, the Emmy goes to...
In the big online world of computers, there are a lot of little things you need to look out for, like viruses that can slow down or damage your computer, or spyware or pop-up ads that are not only annoying, but can pose a security risk. But you don't need to feel small and helpless. Use an internet firewall.
I want to thank the Emmys for recognizing advertising and PSAs like this, and we really appreciate Microsoft for doing some public service announcements that we get to air in the state and the region. Thank you.
And I just want to add that anyone who knows us know that we love television, so this is a real honor, this beautiful golden woman. So thanks to the Academy.
Yeah. Finally, an advertising award that my mom has heard of.
And when you think about it, none of us would be here tonight without advertising. Except for the public television people. In the category of commercial single spot, the Emmy goes to...
the Trunk Monkey Theft Retrieval System. Because sometimes getting your car back is simply not enough. Another revolutionary idea.
I guess they're not here. I will give the speech on their behalf. Screw you, I'm the best. Everybody else's category sucks, I'm the greatest. So, thanks for nothing. I deserve it. Okay. In the category of commercial campaign, the Emmy goes to...
I lost control of my car.
Shock advised. Stand clear.
No. For the most part, I'm glad that I bought a car with the trunk monkey.
Well, the same people won that, so I will continue the speech. This only proves how great I am that I've won 2 in a row now. Screw you. I hope you feel worse that I've won 2. So, okay, great. In the category of continuing coverage, the Emmy goes to...
I'm Nancy Francis, live in the KGW newsroom where we are following breaking news from Mount Hood.
Well, Nancy, this evening search and rescuers were up here trying to map out a plan before heading up the mountain tomorrow morning to try to find those climbers.
A mountain of misery. Brutal conditions keep searchers from reaching 3 stranded climbers.
Thanks. Another total team effort, and our appreciation to everybody who worked on this. Thank you.
Bonus round, there is a second winner in this category, and the Emmy goes to...
Women are dying because they didn't know.
Yeah, I was terrified.
I was totally not prepared for that. They never heard of the most lethal and aggressive form of breast cancer.
I was furious and at the same time terrified.
Wow, really excited to be here again because we got to do, I got to do my very first half-hour show, and that continuing coverage. There were lots of stories, panels, blah, blah, blah. But a big shout-out to Jim Clayton, our general manager, who came to the station, saw the stories we were doing, and said, you got to do a half-hour show. I went, well, I've never done that before. Okay. So it was just very, very rewarding, and just a big thank you to Jim and the staff, and to John, of course, because we worked him hard.
I hate getting up here and talking, but my daughter's supposed to be taking a picture of me, so I have to stay up here long enough for her to get the picture. Come on, Monica. This is my... Oh, you want to see? Oh, camera died, battery died. Oh, well, never mind. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
In the category of investigative reporting, the Emmy goes to...
People their good credit, a lot of money, and the dream of owning their own home.
It is. We come up here and we go into the living room.
After renting for years,
hanging the pots and pans up.
Mary Pelayo and her family were thrilled to buy a home of their own in Everett.
Owning your own house is a major achievement in your life, and it's what we wanted.
3 months after moving in, the Pelayos found out they didn't own anything to call home. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate this a lot. I'm just kind of now learning how to be an investigative reporter, so I'm still learning, and I'm going to IRE in a couple days to try to really learn something. I'll see you down there, Jesse Jones. Jesse Jones. But, Jesse Jones in 5 News. I love him. But anyway, I want to thank my producer, now my executive producer, Kelly Cheadle, behind me here. She's like a sister to me and helps me every step of the way. And my darling photographer, Eric Olson. Thanks a lot, Eric. You guys put up with a lot because I'm kind of a wreck. I'm a kind of a train wreck. Until we hopefully get to the end, and then I try to be kind of cool, but I'm really not cool at all. But anyway, thank you very much. And thank you to, I want to also thank, I know this sounds totally stuck up, but to Laura Newborn, my assistant news director. She's a great script editor, and I really appreciate you, Laura, for all you do for my pathetically long scripts. And you and Pat, and again, the desk. Love to thank the desk. Damn it, love the desk. Okay.
I just want to thank Lyndon Byron, Jesse Jones, Chris Ingalls, and of course Susanna and Eric for just, it's a blessing to have the job that I have, and I love it. And I want to thank my husband, and he's my favorite investigator. And I want to thank the graphics department, and the promotions department. Thank you.
I want to thank Susanna for indulging me on my love for the restaurant Applebee's.
Tune into King 5 and see Trainwreck Susanna Frame. In the category of graphic arts graphics, the Emmy goes to
Matt Hasselbeck, Boston College. Bobby Ingram, Penn State. Ray Burris, University of Nevada.
Max Stroll, Georgia.
It took me a while to get up here. I was seated in Rhode Island, somewhere back there. Special thanks to the Seattle Seahawks organization, Brian O'Connell, Keith Neely, Daryl Toland, Gernot Kalcher. There was a talented group of people that put all this together. Thank you.
It's great being living in LA, where we have 12 basketball teams and no football. So, in the category of graphic arts animation, the Emmy goes to.
Or see an odd dog gets hit by a truck and you're feeling down on your luck. Out jumps a driver with Coke bottle glasses, can't tell a dog from the hole in his ass is. Black comedy, 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 black comedy. It's an emotional catastrophe.
So if the last one didn't offend you, that one might have. So I apologize. Otherwise, thanks to the film festival again, and to our creative director at Wong Diddy, Tracy Wong, for always pushing us to do stuff that's a little beyond what's expected. Thanks.
There is a second winner in this category, and the Emmy goes to...
Lesbian loggers whistling, she's making them both.
Come on back out. I had to say that quick.
Hey, you try tracking marmots for 48 months across the fucking frozen tundra and see how steady your camera is.
The actors get paid with 15 minutes of fame and cheap domestic beer. Documentary, documentary.
Okay, now that I've thanked everyone, I have the opportunity to tell a really quick story about Joel, who brought his advertising copywriter portfolio into the first agency I worked at about 7 years ago. And I just want to say keep at it. Eventually, you'll be successful.
Still waiting for the call there. That's not coming. In the category of audio, the Emmy goes to...
I'm Luke Filmer. I'm a wildlife artist and an avid fly fisherman. Being in places like the Rocky Mountains to me are like being home. A lot of my inspiration comes from being in places like this.
Kevin Straley couldn't be here tonight, but for Northwest Backroads and Kevin Straley, he did great work.
What will they do when they run out of back roads? I don't even want to think about it. In the category of director, the Emmy goes to...
Deck the halls with laughter. Deck the halls with cheer. Deck the halls with love. Deck the halls with love. This year.
As the evening grows on, the applause gets more and more enthusiastic. I'd like to thank the crew and all the people at Como for putting up with all my crap. I would like to thank Steve Lawson, who produced this wonderful show, for putting up with all my crap. I would particularly like to thank Julie Lynn, who is my partner, who gets up with me and has coffee with me every morning and walks with me every night, for putting up with all my crap. So, thank you very much.
Right here, Steve. He's a great director, but cannot match a suit. Sorry, Steve. In the category of news producer, the Emmy goes to...
It's the American way. Cram as much as you can into as little time as possible. For those of us who live in this frantic, unyielding world, there is never enough time, never enough space, never enough peace.
Not here? Oh, shoot. All right. You're not, no, definitely not Ben.
Thanks, Scott. I want to accept this for Ben. He does amazing work, and wherever he is, I'm sure he's very proud. Thanks.
Howdy. I'm Eric Riddle with AV Magazine. I'm also the chair of the Silver Circle, so I'm here to induct our next inductee. Along with her nomination, our next inductee received several letters of recommendation from friends and colleagues in the broadcasting business. Now, us in the selection committee, we all take these things very seriously. But when you receive a recommendation letter from former Universal NBC president, chairman of the board, Bob Wright, some letters weigh heavier than others. She may have come from a smaller market, but there's nothing small about the accomplishments of our next inductee, Patsy Smolin.
There are some who would say that locally owned family broadcasters are a thing of the past. Don't tell that to Patsy Smolin. She doesn't just talk the localism talk, she walks the walk. And that's something that hasn't changed in her more than a third of a century in the business. Patricia C. Patsy Smolin has roots in broadcasting that stretch back to when her father, legendary radio and television pioneer William B. Smolin, started California-Oregon broadcasting in the early 1930s, well before the advent of television. And when television did become a reality, California-Oregon Broadcasting established the first VHF TV station in the state of Oregon in 1953. Of course, Patsy wasn't quite ready to get into the business yet, but that would change a couple of decades later. After graduating from Oregon State University, Patsy began her communications career with her family's cable television companies in Southern Oregon and Northern California. In 1984, Patsy became president of California Oregon Broadcasting, headquartered in Medford, Oregon. Today, COBI has 5 television stations, including KOBI-TV NBC5 based in Medford, KOTI-TV NBC2 in Klamath Falls, KLSR Fox TV and KEBU-TV in Eugene, and Crestview Cable in Central and Eastern Oregon, as well as COBI Digital HD, one of the Northwest's premier high-definition production facilities. There are now countless television professionals throughout the Northwest and across the country who got their start in the business working with Patsy's company. She has always been very active in her industry and with the nonprofit, government, and the business communities. Patsy is one of the first women to be elected to the board of directors of the National Association of Broadcasters, and she and her father were the first and only father-daughter team to have been members of the NAB Television Board. She is the only person to have served as president of both the Oregon Association of Broadcasters and the Oregon Cable Telecommunications Association. Patsy's commitment to local and regional charities and medical and educational campuses has been extensive over the years. She serves on the boards of both Willamette University and Southern Oregon University and the Journalism Advancement Council for the University of Oregon, and her stations have promoted scholarship programs to help students attend college. She currently serves on the World Affairs Council, the Oregon Women's Forum, AAA Board of Oregon and Idaho, and Oregon Children's Foundation. Patsy has a keen continuing interest in the advancement of preventative health care. She has served as a board member of the Rogue Valley Health Foundation and Rogue Valley Medical Center. Patsy is co-founder of Docs on Call, a weekly television news feature that allows viewers to discuss their medical questions with a panel of local doctors free of charge. Patsy is also a co-founder of Buddy Check in Oregon. Patsy's NBC stations partnered with 3 medical centers to create Buddy Check 25. On the 25th of each month, NBC5 and NBC2 remind women to call their buddy, a friend, who will keep them accountable and make sure they do their breast self-exams. This is the type of proactive, positive approach that has guided Patsy through her business career and her decades of involvement with nonprofit organizations. Although her job duties as president of the company are largely administrative, Patsy has always loved the journalistic aspects of the broadcasting business and has ensured that her stations provide viewers accurate, insightful news coverage on a local and regional basis. Her hope, as she puts it, is that every move our staff members make reflect our knowledge of the communities we serve. She also gets involved in front of the camera. Up Close with Patsy Smullen is a half-hour program which airs in multiple TV markets in Oregon and Northern California. Over the years, Patsy has interviewed TV stars, musicians, scientists, politicians, and first ladies. But even though the interview subjects are national or global in scope or fame, she always finds a way to bring things back home on a local level.
One last question. Do you have any words for our viewers in California and Oregon?
Well, I just want to tell everyone out there hello and send them our very best wishes. I know that we both look forward to our next trips out there.
Do you have any special message for our viewers, Oregon and California?
Well, first of all, I want to thank the people in Oregon and California for the wonderful treatment that my husband and I have received in our many, many visits to those states.
Southern Oregon, Northern California?
I'd say the West is definitely best.
Harry and David in Oregon. Harry, now, okay, here you go. You want to get on TV. Bring us fruit from Harry and David. There you go. Bring those pears. Those pears, baby. That's what we want. Pears and babies. In fact, bring babies and pears. Bring 2 babies and pears. Pears and pears.
So our last question. Anything you'd like to say particularly for our viewers in Northern California and Oregon?
I think you guys have some of the best wine. I want to compliment you on your wine. You have a wonderful climate. You're right by the ocean. Lewis and Clark came right through there, Oregon. Hit the coast right there, big part of our history. Found a dead whale there. I don't know if you knew that, but that's what they found when they got to the coast. Some of you are insane, think you're crazy, but at the same time, I have a lot of love for you. So God bless you. God bless you all.
Wherever in the world Patsy Smullen happens to physically be, her heart and mind are always back home, in the areas covered by her TV stations and cable operations. Always looking for a new local story or a better way to tell an old one. Meeting with her company's clients personally. Encouraging new staff members to learn and excel. And and getting the more seasoned staffers to reach new heights and set new goals. And though she has a long and accomplished career behind her, it's not hard to imagine that for Patsy Smullen, the best is yet to come.
Nice glasses. Please welcome Patsy Smullen.
Many of you have shared tonight why you find great meaning working in broadcasting. Broadcasting of the future will definitely not be the broadcasting of the past, but the public will continue to demand good content, good talent, and accurate and local news. The challenge, of course, is to take that information, which is important in our lives, but may not be compelling television, and make it compelling television. Through a real commitment to local news, we can give communities the information that they need to make their community a better place. It is true that radio and television were wireless before wireless was cool. And it's still true that broadcasting is a wonderful, viable, relevant industry. As my father taught me when I joined this industry, recognize the power of television and use it for positive change. So please join me tonight in a commitment to encourage and, yes, even proactively help a smart young person, one a year, to enter the broadcasting industry. Thank you for this wonderful award. Thank you, Mark. And keep having fun in your work. Thanks.
Okay, here we go. We're almost done. We're very close to bringing out the next 4 tables of Emmys. So that means we're going to be halfway, you guys. You've made it this far. Okay. Before we get to all those awards, let's take a quick look back at some of the more memorable moments of 2006.
Number 1 in Western Washington, King 5 News starts now.
Good evening. Our top story tonight. Wait, Gene, do I look fat?
No, Mr. Workout King, you do not.
I feel like a blowfish. I've had so much food recently.
I'd say perfect body mass index.
Really? Jeff, what about my butt? Is my butt big?
For a guy's butt, looks fine.
Not that you look at it all the time, Paul.
You look great, big man.
Oh, you guys are so nice. I feel like the seams are going to just rip apart. Okay, no cookies for a month. Thanks anyway. Our top story tonight.
The attending veterinarian says the mother cat and her kittens are going to be fine. Excuse me for a moment. Oh, that's good. In other news.
Working for you. Como for News starts right now.
Good evening. We start tonight with breaking news. There is a bomb threat on a local college campus, and they are causing evacuations right now. In fact, several students are... Oh, did I grab the wrong one? Oh, Kathy, I'm sorry.
Come on, Dan. I mean, we need to be
I don't think I've ever
careful.
done that before.
Right on the
Straight
air.
now. So this bomb threat has the college campus being evacuated. It's a very serious situation with police responding right now.
This is a major windstorm in Puget Sound. We're seeing winds blowing sustained 30 to 40 miles per hour with gusts up to 50 to 60 in some of the more exposed spots. We're really feeling one coming in here, and it's really starting to blow. No! Holy shit, that's quite a windstorm. Oh my God, here comes another gust! Ah! Oh. it's windy up here. I don't get paid enough to do this.
Where was Jim Foreman? That's what I want to know. In the category of on-camera talent, anchor, weather, the Emmy goes to...
You know, I'll mention this again. We have had a lot of urban flooding. It piles up, as we saw from our traffic reports in areas on the roads. It's easy to hydroplane. And it's important to slow down because a good spray of that stuff can blind either an oncoming or a following driver and cause some nasty accidents. So if you have to go out tonight, and it might be a good evening to just stay inside and watch us, take it very, very easy. Let's go to work.
You know, it's really hard to follow Rich Marriott. I'm sure Jeff would have some choice words to say if he were here. But anyway, he's a fabulous forecaster in a market filled with them, and values accuracy more than anything else. And we love him. Thank you.
The most endearing mustache in Northwest Television, easily. And he knows what the weather is at every middle school in the Northwest. Why is it always checking in at the middle school somewhere? I'm still thinking about it. So. In the category of on-camera talent, reporter, general assignment, the Emmy goes to...
Are you Darren? All right, good. How are you doing? Good. Not bad at all. Darren says he must have helped maybe 50 people, I don't know. I asked him about... I have a hard time to put it on. The chains he put on Jay's tires. Must have been difficult. I didn't put the chains on the car.
Thank you. You know, Sharon Howard talked about the people who she's worked with who elevate her work, and I really do feel the same way, that I wouldn't be up here if it wasn't for the talented people I work with day in and day out at Como. And I entered 3 stories there, and I want to acknowledge the people who worked on those stories. Darren Tegman and Doug Pigsley, John Knorr, Randy Carnell, and Wayne White. Thank you very much.
There is a second Emmy in this category, and the winner of that Emmy is...
You are. The prostitutes are. You didn't think of it as prostitution initially?
No.
What did you think it was?
Escorting.
But what is the difference?
No, it just sounds better, I guess.
No matter what you call it.
This is our first arrest tonight.
Prostitution is still illegal, which is why police like Craigslist. It makes their job easier. All right. Thank you. This is odd, but thank you. I want to acknowledge Brad Baker and Trino, who worked on that story, the Craigslist story. Thanks.
You know, I feel a little bad about the whole Chris Cashman thing. I want to check back in on him if that's possible.
Done. I'm leaving. That's it. Oh, unless we're going to give out another Emmy to John Sharifi. Why don't we just call them the Sharifis next year? We'll all gather for the Sharifis. See you. I'm out of here. Whoa. And Daddy, it's me. Can you come pick me up? I think I might have embarrassed myself tonight. And I peed.
John Sharifi produced that bit, and I just want to thank him for the excellent work he did on that. Thanks, John. In the category of on-camera talent, program host, moderator, the Emmy goes to...
Today, from the red carpet, we've had a good time. We hope you've had a good time. And boy, what can I say? Hanging out in Aberdeen, kind of the Hollywood of the Northwest, some might say. And so it makes sense that Tom Cruise and Kate, don't call her Katie, Kate Holmes. Tom says it's Kate, so it's Kate. Tom Cruise, Kate Holmes came today to celebrate a contest winner who lived right here in Aberdeen. He won an exclusive screen.
This is great to win this tonight in front of so many people that I admire so much, like John Sharifi, who I admire so much. Actually, there's a lot of people in the Northwest that I admire a great deal in the media. A lot of people you wouldn't expect. You'd go, really? That's who you look up to? The Giant of the Valley, Auburn Valley Suzuki, Flynn from Carpet Sense, Art Peterson, formerly at Q13 Styling for Dollars, Cisco Morris from Narnia, I think. I'm not sure about that. But a lot of you I admire. I grew up watching a lot of you, and I don't mean to make you feel old, but you are. New wave coming through. Get on board. But I'm very honored, honestly and truthfully, to receive this because for about 4 years I was given an amazing opportunity, basically with free reign, to create and produce and host fun local programming, and I did my best to take full advantage of that. And I got to meet some really cool people, getting to rub elbows with celebrities. I did like 3 interviews with, at least formerly, one of the most visible people in all of Hollywood, Jared Fogle, Subway guy. I was at a very small cocktail mixer with Tom Cruise, not the actor, controversial actor, the power chair hover around CEO, lesser known. But it's been fun, is the bottom line here. And I would like to dedicate this for one serious moment to the 2 most important people in my life, my wife and my 16-day-old baby daughter, who are watching on the internet right now at home. Speaking of which, Don and me on the way here, if I should win, this is not exactly infant safe. Go ahead and baby-proof that. Not a lot of people know these exist. Look it up. emmyprotectors.baby.com. Who would have thought? It's fun knowing this is streaming on the web. They couldn't be here. She's so tiny. It's fun to think about like what she's doing right now. Probably got some cute little face. Let's be honest, maybe she pooped herself. And I like to think of what my daughter's doing, too. I love you. Thank you for the honor. Thank you.
Chris Cashman, ladies and gentlemen, easily one of the most talented people here tonight. Clap for that. Give him a job, ladies and gentlemen. In the category of on-camera talent reporting programming, the Emmy goes to...
When many parents checked for 10 little fingers and 10 little toes, Simpsons weren't sure how to count Tyler's. On each hand, 2 of his fingers were fused together, 2 toes fused on each foot. It's called syndactyly, a condition that occurs 1 in 2,500 births, where webbing that develops naturally in the fetus simply does not go away as it's supposed to.
I just want to say that I work in a market with really excellent reporters. I mean, my friends at Como, King News, Evening Magazine, you're rock stars. You make me better, and I'm really privileged. Thank you.
In the category of on-camera talent anchor news, the Emmy goes to...
Live tonight outside Ford Field in Detroit, where the anticipation is growing for this Super Bowl game on Sunday between the Seahawks and the Steelers. We can tell you tonight that things are getting kind of nasty between some of the players as they, I think, are ready to play the game.
Let's get this thing going, man. I think they're ready to.
I think nasty might be the key word tonight because that applies to the weather here, too.
It does.
Thank you.
If I could take just 1 second quickly to maybe plug a new product I've got. It's Dan Lewis hairspray, and it comes in 3 doses. You can get Dan Lewis regular. There's the Dan Lewis Granite, and by prescription only. That's an old Almost Live joke. Shows you how old the Dan Lewis hair jokes are, but thanks. You know, I'm celebrating my 20th year at Como this summer, so this is a great honor. It's a great place to work. Obviously, there's a ton of talent in the NATAS Northwest region, so this means a lot to me. I would like to, as always, thank my wife, Jen. Something different this year, and it was truly Jen's idea. She said, how come you never ask your kids to come to Emmy night? Well, my kids are really not children anymore. They're adults. My daughter Chris is here. My son Dan. They know the kind of sacrifices a family makes for someone who works in this business, especially when you work the late shift. My son Tim can't be here tonight. He works weekends doing sports at Creme TV in Spokane. Thank you, Creme, for giving him the opportunity. He's a great kid. All my children are absolutely wonderful. Jen, thank you. Seriously, I mean, the funny thing was, growing up all the time, everybody said, how did you get trouble-free children? And I thank you very much for that. I love you very, very much. Thank you.
Dan Lewis, everybody. Sorry there wasn't a prompter. I miss it too. I miss it. In the category of photographer news, the Emmy goes to
Joseph DeLargo.
The 9/11 healing field, yes.
Robert.
This is to recognize the first patriots of 9/11 and to pay tribute.
Robert McLaughlin.
Ricardo Quinn.
It's just a reminder of exactly what was sacrificed, who was sacrificed that day 5 years ago.
I'm here for Kurt. He asked me to accept for him. I've had the privilege to work with Kurt Austin on many stories, and he is an incredible photographer. I feel so privileged to have worked with him. And it seems so appropriate that tonight that he would win this, that he is in Portland heading up the NPPA conference. He'll be so proud to have won this tonight, and thank you so much for him.
We're getting close, folks. In the category of photographer program, the Emmy goes to
Located between Judith Gap and Harlowton, the turbines stand nearly 300 feet high. Each blade weighing more than 6 tons.
We're very lucky to have John Twiggs in Montana, and this is his second tonight. So I want to thank Montana PBS and Backroads of Montana, and thanks.
In the category of editor news, the Emmy goes to
momentum when you're sliding sideways.
Where Dan Michael learned to drive.
You know what helps me a bunch is I keep looking at that on the side of your car. Have fun.
Now one of Dan's kids is learning.
Take him, Charlie, take him.
That's Charlie, behind the wheel of wildfire.
Job well done, kid.
That's right. Charlie Michael is a 16-year-old girl.
Scott couldn't be here tonight, but he would be extremely proud to have been here and accepted this. Thank you much.
In the category of editor program, the Emmy goes to
9th star, the aspects of the state that it's a huge state and not everybody can get everywhere. So it's really great to see that come to you. Not only do you get the national information, which a lot of times is lacking in the local media, but you get also the local stuff, but just more in depth, more information.
Well, I'm really just happy to have a chance to say thank you to everybody that I work with back in Fairbanks who doesn't have a job that gets them a name on one of these little statues. Because believe it or not, there's not a category for everything. But this is for all of us, so thanks, you guys.
In the category of writer program, the Emmy goes to
One early traveler called it the strangest 75 square miles in North America.
He could not believe that this undiscovered land existed in Idaho.
This is where harmony was, and this is what the spirits did.
The vast...
This is very unexpected. This is such incredible competition, so thank you very much.
We are now halfway. In the category of writer news, the Emmy goes to...
This flag he picked up at the hardware store, $35. Flag to replace the one someone stole. Don was still in his late 20s when his captain, his best friend, gave him a flag, gave him something that meant the world to him, especially after his captain, his best buddy, was killed.
Thank you so much. I've been so fortunate to be surrounded by such amazing writers at Como early on in my career. John Larson, Bob Thronson, who's now our managing editor, and I consider him my mentor, who has elevated my work as far as writing, and most recently, so many of the reporters sitting here today, Kevin Reese, Eric Johnson, who's not here, Michelle and Liz. I probably forgot a few, but I mean, it's all around us, and you guys have improved my work, and I watch your work, and I thank you as well. Thanks.
President of NATAS, Emmy winner. It's like an alcoholic working in a liquor store. In the category of morning daytime news, 1 through 20, the Emmy goes to...
7 Eyewitness News at 6 begins right now.
We're all over this. Breaking news on Seattle's Lake Union this morning, where a 4-alarm fire has forced several evacuations.
It started just about 1:30 this morning, quickly taking over several docks and a 300-foot research boat run by NOAA. We have in-depth coverage this morning from the fire to the evacuations to some businesses not going to be able to...
I just want to thank the great team I work with. This is my first Emmy, so it's really exciting, and I want to thank my family for being here to support me.
Usually when I get called in at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., or 2 a.m. in the morning, it's for a technical problem. On this morning, I got called in to be asked to help with the show. And I'm on this Emmy as the executive producer, which is kind of crazy because I did so little with such a great team. I made a couple of comments, suggestions, and this team that Cairo has on the morning news was already way ahead of me, way ahead of the game, and had incredible video and produced Kelly and all of the team. And I must say, it's quite a team for Cairo Morning, an incredible show. And I was just really happy to be included because Kelly suggested that I be included on this Emmy. And Walter, you're not usually on that show either.
I'd have been here sooner, but I was backstage on the cell phone dealing with a technical issue. Directing is fun, and directing breaking news is even more fun. And having a team together and having someone like Kelly, it just makes it simply delightful. So thank you very much.
And I wanted to wish my partner, Diane, a happy birthday, and for putting up with all those 4 a.m., 3 a.m., and 2 a.m. calls. Thank you.
Anything else, Scott? In the category of evening news, 80 plus, the Emmy goes to...
Less chit-chat, more news. Today's Channel 6 News, live at 10, starts now.
It is cold out there. Some parts of Idaho were even under a wind chill advisory, making it feel as bone-chilling as minus 25.
That's cold. Right now, live at 10, we're looking outside from our Albertsons Tower Cam atop the Grove Hotel, where the conditions can be dangerous for those walking the streets.
Holy cow! Thank you, thank you, thank you. On behalf of Toby Shaw, who could not be here today, didn't want to jinx himself, he said, this all comes from very, very hard work. Just want to say we changed everything a couple years ago and worked incredibly hard. And thank you for this incredible award. Thank you.
Right on. In the category of evening news, 21 through 80, the Emmy goes to...
Missing on Mount Hood. 3 climbers stranded in brutal conditions. But we know a little more from relatives about how they got into this situation.
If anybody could survive these conditions, it would be given Kelly James.
How much worse those conditions are going to get. Technology to the rescue. If you're missing, how your cell phone can be your lifeline. And
So Carol McLean's name was on this. She was the producer of that show. She couldn't be here tonight. But like all newscasts, this one was another team effort. And like all of our Mount Hood coverage, it was an incredible team effort at a difficult time by a whole lot of people. So thank you, everybody.
Very close now to bringing those 4 more tables out of Emmys. In the category of evening news, 1 through 20, the Emmy goes to...
King 5 News starts now.
The sights and sounds of a brutal windstorm.
You hear them kind of going down and crunching things.
Homes are crushed by falling trees. This one hit by 7. Fires erupt as people struggle to stay warm. Pets are forced to jump to safety, leading to dramatic rescues.
Like that shot, huh? Well, you know, we never win this category, so this is really awesome. And I know that Norm and Eric will just be pleased as punch. Thank you very much.
It's a good thing you came tonight. One more award left, you guys. Are you ready? In the category of Station Excellence, the Emmy goes to...
Did you know that's against the law in the state of Washington to pose as a psychologist when you're not one?
No license, unqualified, yet she doles out treatment to the vulnerable. Fed up and forced to pay thousands, homeowners vent their rage on a local home builder.
They wanted the blame on her so they didn't have to pay me.
A speeding driver killed his daughter, but an insurance company tried to blame her.
So, those of you who have your watches on need to know that I had the over by a half an hour at our table, and I'm going to lose. I guess I didn't know Nancy Guppy after all. I want to just take a moment to say that there is no way to appreciate, unless you sit through a night like this and see all of the incredible work from everybody in this room and everybody who didn't make it to the room tonight, for all the wins. And for a general manager to have an opportunity to say thank you to the people at the station who make it as great as it is. So for all of you, thank you very much for all the work you do. Ladies and gentlemen, Nancy Guppy.
Hey, everyone. I want to give a special public thanks to some of the folks who helped pull off tonight. As we've all said, you do a story, it's a team deal. One person gets the recognition, but it's a team deal, and certainly tonight was. Obviously, the entire crew who's pulling it off here tonight. Anaji's in the truck, all the folks in the truck, especially Woody, who stepped in when someone called in sick. Lame. I want to thank our esteemed Mayor Greg Nichols, all the fabulous local TV talent, Chris Cashman, Pat Cashman, Michael King, Dennis Bounds, Julie Francavilla, Rich Marriott, and of course Dan Gertzen and Kathy Lewis. Did a great job. You are a handsome man, Dan. Daryl Benedict, a terrific photographer as well as actor, the fabulous Cleve Tyson and Travis Muller, who helped with editing, Joe Guppy for all the writing help, the really talented Ralph Bevins. Ralph is a tremendous shooter and editor as well as a great writer and producer. He really added so much to tonight's video bits. I couldn't have done it without him. You're the total bomb, Ralph. And finally, Mr. Joel McHale. Yes, indeed. The fact that we got him, I want to thank him for squeezing us into his extremely unempty schedule. As you know, Joel is on E, the Soup. He's the host. However, there's another big deal. His pilot on NBC is called IT. It's based on a British version of the same show. It's been picked up. He is one of the two main guys. It's an NBC pilot. It's going to hit, or show. It's going to hit in mid-season. Is that correct? January. So that's a really big deal. He's also up for he's going to be in an independent film coming up. He still has to decide on the director. Oh, la-di-da. So he's a big deal. And Joel, really, his success is so well-deserved, and we are so lucky to have had him here. So thank you so much for being with us. And I'm going to let you take us out, Joel McHale.
Right on. Nancy Guppy, who put in way more hours than anybody on this whole thing. Let's hear it for her. Thank you for coming. Watch The Soup Friday nights at 10. And remember, we owe it all to television and our television sets. Good night, everybody.